as an exchange, we looked at the Vision 2030 document, and we saw that one of the biggest challenges of achieving the Vision 2030 vision is funding. There is a lot of money that is required for Zimbabwe to achieve its targets. And so we thought out of the box and say, how can we attract foreign investors for this money? That's why we came up with the exchange, to attract foreign investors.
But I think one prominent question that will obviously an investor would ask is, do the current economic fundamentals support the establishment of such an exchange?
It is because of the current economic fundamentals. That's why we came up with this exchange. So if you look at our current exchange, you will notice that very few people are coming to our exchange to raise money. And the reason why they're not coming to our exchange to raise money is because our exchange at the moment is a Zimbabwe dollar exchange. So because of the currency, the way it fluctuates, it's difficult for them to know how much money they actually need to raise. That's the first one. Then the second thing is, even if they raise the money, they now need to go into the market to buy the foreign currency, because a lot of the money that companies want is for capital equipment, and a lot of the capital equipment is imported from elsewhere. And because of that, there is a shortage of foreign currency on our market, which you are aware of. Even if all the money that comes into Zimbabwe as foreign currency was available for industry, it's not enough. So if you think for mining, for example, mining requires about 10 to 15 billion US dollars for it to capitalize, for it to achieve the Vision 2030 targets. And Zimbabwe gets in about 4 to 6 billion US dollars a year in terms of foreign currency generated. So there's not enough money in Zimbabwe. So it made sense for us to come up with an exchange that is in US dollars to allow companies to raise money that they actually need for them to expand their businesses and employ more people and grow the Zimbabwean economy.
I think one question is that why not creating separate mechanisms on the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange in order to achieve the same purpose that the Victoria Falls Stock Exchange would want to achieve?
Okay, so the Zimbabwean ZSE is denominated in Zimbabwean dollars. So that remains. But as I said, it's companies don't want to raise, they struggle to raise Zimbabwean dollars because it doesn't meet what they are looking for. So it made sense for us to come up with an exchange that is denominated in separate currency from the Zimbabwean dollars, hence a separate exchange, rather than do it on the current exchange.
In the same vein, where else in the world have we seen such an exchange being established, whereby you do have two separate exchanges in a similar country but dealing in different currencies? So
Dubai is a good example. So Dubai has got an exchange that is separate from the main exchange in an offshore financial service center. Because one of the things that people are not aware of is that the government has designated Victoria Falls as an offshore financial service center. So all of these things that we are doing is to support that offshore financial service center. Hence, that exchange is different from the current exchange because we want it to be part of the offshore financial service center in line with what the government wants to do.
So, because of the attractiveness of that Victoria Falls Stock Exchange, are we not going to see a situation whereby we do have companies listed on the ZSE, delisting from it, and to go and list on the Victoria Falls Stock Exchange? Is it not going to see the demands of the ZSE?
We don't think so. So the first time, let's look at what we want to, what we are targeting in VFX. So the ideal company that we are looking for is companies that are not currently listed on ZSE, and there's quite a lot of them. So one of the things that people tell me, they always say to me that people don't want to invest in Zimbabwe. That is not necessarily true. There are projects in Zimbabwe that are raising money elsewhere. So we can talk about the Prospect Lithium project, the Arcadia one. They've just raised money in Australia. So people are raising money elsewhere. So those are the people that we are trying to attract, who are raising money elsewhere on Zimbabwean projects, who then come on VFX and raise money there. That's the main people that we're targeting. In terms of Zimbabwean companies, they'll be allowed to list on both exchanges. There will just be a portion of how much is allowed onto that exchange. So they don't have to delist on the main exchange. They can list on both exchanges if they want to.
Is this going to be smooth sailing the way you are speaking? Because one of the biggest worries is that this may create some arbitrary opportunities, just like what we are seeing in various sectors of the economy. Are we not going to see arbitrary opportunities being created, just like people actually relying on the old mutual implied rate on the ZSE? What mechanisms are there in order to make sure that you kill
Okay.
Any opportunities arising from arbitrage?
Okay. So I think if we step back, and our argument is that the main problem in Zimbabwe is productivity. Zimbabwe has a productivity issue. And in order to get the productive issue right, you need investment. So if we get the investment right, the chances of all this speculation, there's minimum amount of that. Then secondly, if companies list on both exchanges, we don't think there's going to be fungibility. So there'll be no opportunity for this arbitrage situation that you're talking about.
Then the last question is, why in Victoria Falls?
Victoria Falls is a good brand name. Victoria Falls is well known around the world. Then secondly, as I said before, the government has designated Victoria Falls as an offshore financial service center that they want to do in the long term. Basically, what an offshore financial service center is, it becomes a place with different rules, which is like, for example, hard currency be able to be traded there by law. So we just wanted to be part of that. Then thirdly, it's also in terms of devolution. We also want to make sure that the rest of the country is benefiting. That's why having an exchange in Mandovha also is important. That's the reason why we chose Victoria Falls.
Then when can we see the official launch or the setting up of this stock exchange?
So we are now working with the Ministry of Finance to come up with the rules. So just watch out over the next few weeks for the rules to come out. Once the rules come out, then we launch the exchange. Because the easy thing about this exchange is we can run it out of here. So in terms of the equipment and everything, we don't have to go around and get more new equipment. We don't have to get new people. We can do it out of the current exchange. The main thing that would delay is the regulation. Once we get the regulation working, then we should be able to launch very quickly thereafter.
Do our own securities exchange of Zimbabwe have the capacity to manage this as an exchange?
They should be able to. It's a well-run sector. It's one of those people who don't understand. It's well-run, and all the way we are working with them so they can see how this thing is going to work. And we're comfortable that they're able to regulate it. Definitely.